Hi friends, it's Becky and I want to open up my April 2025 Bargain Bead Box. This is the April Showers Bargain Bead Box, and that's the theme for it. Most folks, I think, have gotten theirs by now, but there are still some folks who have not gotten theirs, so if you do not want spoilers, then I suggest you hit save for later and come back to this video after you get your box. I know my sister's still waiting on hers because for some reason they're walking from Tennessee to Texas with it. That's the only thing I can figure out with them getting the box in Amazon's hands on the 1st of April and telling her we'll deliver it on the 14th of April, exactly 2 weeks from the date that it was shipped. And it's just a little bit ridiculous because it only takes 11 days and 4 hours to walk from the place in Tennessee where they shipped it to my sister's house in Texas. I don't know, handcart? Are they riding a bicycle? Is it bicycle courier? Is that how they're sending it? I don't know, but the Amazon shipping seems to be working great for some folks, but not for others, and I really don't understand how it made it to my house and not to hers when we live in the same state. But that's something that Bargain Bead Box customer service should fix with her, and it's not something that I can fix on this video, but I just wanted to do a little call out, especially since I feel terrible that she's going through this and having to deal with the frustration for this extremely long shipping time. For something that should only take a few days to get to her instead of 2 weeks. A 2-week shipping time is acceptable for something coming from the other side of the planet, not from something 2 states away. But I feel bad about it because I'm the reason why she subscribed. She watched my videos. She was like, wait a minute, I love this. They label things nickel-free. She's been having so much fun creating with her Bargain Bead Box. This is only her 2nd month. And to have this level of frustration with it is just, I don't want her to have to go through this. I just wanted this to be a joyful thing. And it hasn't been this month for that. So hopefully, I'm hopeful, fingers crossed, that Beadbox Bargains can make it right for her. And her package will get to her soon. But now that I've spent some time talking about that, let's talk about the actual Bargain Bead Box. April Showers. There's nothing like the cozy beauty of a rainy spring day. Soft pastels, including minty amazonite, which is one of my favorites, light blue Malaysian jade quartz, and peach crystals combined with lots of sparkling crystal teardrops in a shimmering palette. Cloud motifs include stainless steel chandeliers, carved freshwater shell beads, and high-quality cubic zirconia toggle clasp. There is also, on the other side of that fold, a 30% off coupon for subscribers to be able to purchase things from their sister store, the Beadbox Bargains, at already discounted prices, and then you get 30% off on top of that. We've got a list of all of the items in here, and they should have a note on here whether things are going to be nickel-free, cadmium-free, etc. So I'm just going to take a minute and just scroll through this to see if I can find the crystal stainless steel. So the stainless steel cloud chandeliers are hypoallergenic, so we're going to say those are safe. Stainless steel lightning bolts are hypoallergenic. These cloud chimes are lead-free and cadmium-free, but not nickel-free. Chandelier findings, there's no note. The umbrella charms, oh, that's no note. The stainless steel spacer beads are hypoallergenic. I can't talk right now. Then we've got some 5-petal bead caps. They are nickel-free, the NF right there. And then we've got the platinum plated brass and cubic zirconia cloud toggle. That is not noted on here whether it is or not. And then we've got stainless steel curb chain, and that is hypoallergenic. Alright, so that's just going over that real quick on what is hypoallergenic and what isn't. It's super useful. And now we'll take a look at all of these. I like to do a description of them when I am unboxing, and then I'll also organize it into my 15 grid organizers. If I leave my bead boxes in the box or bag that they come in, I will never use them. But if I organize it, then I can see everything all at once. It sits nicely on my shelf, and it makes it a lot easier when I'm designing with it. Now, since these are all clearly labeled on the bags themselves, I am not going to be reading down the list. I'm just going to grab them as they come. So it may be reading them in a different order than you are when you're reading from your list. All right, I'm going to start with some strands. Let's get our beads unstrung and into the organizer, and then we'll go through our metals. And there are so many beads. I'm really happy about that. All right, let's get this open and get these in here. Let's start with some of the larger ones because they might need a little more space. These are 8mm matte crackle glass beads. We get 15 inches of this, and as it is 8mm and there are 15 inches, I may need to set down one of the divider sections in my thing, but I thought I would bring some of these closer first so you can get a good look at these. I love the way that the matte glass feels. It feels less cold than the shiny glass does. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like matte gemstones also give off a little bit of warmth to the touch. Maybe it's just the way my fingers are perceiving it or something. So I took out one of the little dividers here to make a little extra space for these. They would not all fit in one section. All right, next we've got some 13x6 faceted teardrop briolette beads in crystal AB. We've got 8 inches of these. They are a little bit longer or larger beads than some of the others, so they may also need a little bit of extra space. But let's just take a look at these a little bit closer. You can see that AB flash a little bit, where you've got some different colors popping up when we look at that. I love sparkles, and these are a fantastic addition to this box, I have to say. It looks like we've also got some clear AB beads in between them, or some clear 8/0 seed beads. That's what I meant to say, but it came out as something completely different, that are between them. And they will end up in the same section as these if I can direct this plastic correctly. Let's get more of these briolettes. They are side drilled, as you can see, so they will actually work really great on stringing between some other beads. And there are great ways to wire wrap a briolette to make it into a dangle. And we'll do some of that together on my channel when we are making things. In fact, I might, because I am going to, at the end of this unboxing, I'm going to be making some earrings, because for the month of April, I'm making a pair of earrings every day. It's just a little challenge that I'm doing. So let's get some more beads unstrung. These are 8x4.5mm crystal faceted fancy rondelle beads in crystal AB, and these also have a clear 8/0 separating them. These are fantastic disc beads. They are strung on my least favorite stringing material, and that is this really, really thin wire. I do not like it because I have poked myself on it far too many times, so I'm just going to be really careful with it. That's, I think, the secret to not getting poked by it is to be very careful when you're unstringing it and handling it. Even though I don't like the string material, I do like the beads. So it is worth it to take that extra care when unstringing to avoid the poke. Those are so pretty. Gosh, I love crystal AB beads. It just makes me happy. Okay, carefully set that aside. Okay. And then the next little crystal bead are some 8 by 6 millimeter faceted teardrop beads in crystal AB. You get 10 inches of these. Woohoo! They are strung on plastic string, not wire. That makes me really happy. It's the little things, my friends. It's the little things. And I'm just going to give it a little wiggle because we like to have some sparkle in our life. These are really pretty. They've got a skinnier end and a fatter end, so they will work as drops as well. I think I might do myself a favor and use them as drops, maybe. Or something else with some of these. Alright. I'm like kind of grouping all of my crystal and clear guys together, and then we'll have our colors over here. These are 10 millimeter crystal faceted half matte round beads in crystal AB. There are 20 of them in here. And if they all fit in this, they should all fit in my organizer section. So the top ends are matte, and then right in the middle we've got this shiny AB finish with the flashy clear crystal bits. That is a really fun bead. That is a really fun bead. All right, let's play with some our Amazonite. We've got 8 by 5 millimeter flower Amazonite rondelle beads. They're 7.5 inches in this box. And let's get up close so we can take a look at it. I love Amazonite. It is such a pretty and beautiful color. And it's just, I think I want to paint my house this color right here. This one. It's just makes me happy. It's like sea foamy. That's the color that I get from it. Here's more Amazonite. We've got 6 millimeter frosted round beads. There's 7 inches of these. And again, I really like frosted glass beads or matte glass beads. I like matte or frosted gemstones. It feels so nice tactilely. And here's a close-up look at these beads. It's a kind of an ethereal color. You know, like your misty color of your dreams. But I could also see using some of these round beads maybe to do a little bird's nest, because you could honestly mistake some of those for robin's egg glue, I think, very easily. All right, a few more Amazonite ones. We've got faceted teardrop beads. There are 10 of them in this one, and they are 7 by 10 millimeters. I know I read those numbers backwards. This is a really, really light Amazonite. It is almost white, but not quite. Put these guys in here. These are our 6 millimeter crystal faceted round beads in Peach Opal AB. There's 10 inches of this. This is such a great contrast to our, oh, I've got one that's broken. Huh. Okay, well, there's that one. Just move it out of the way. Move that aside. It's very rare for me to get a broken bead in this bead box. Very rare. I've gotten broken beads on strands from other ones, but not. I think that's one of the first. There may have been one other time. I don't know. Over the last 3 or 4 years that I've been getting it. Alright, so I think I've got most of the bead strands covered. We can get through a lot of these others, but let's get this one out here. These are our Malaysia Jade faceted round beads in sky blue. There's 14 inches on here, and this is one of those these smaller gemstone beads that come strung on the thread. I usually like to leave them strung because they're a little bit easier to work from. So I'm not going to unstring this, but I am going to wrap it around my finger, and because there's a lot of room here with my faceted beads, I'm going to stick this guy in here with it so they can be roommates in this section of my organizer. That way we're not, that way we have room for all of these other things that I still haven't unboxed or opened. Alright. Let's take a look at some of these charms and things. There are so many charms, but let's do these two first. One is a 25 millimeter Amazonite faceted teardrop pendant. And this is so pretty. You can see that light shining behind it. And there's some little stripes in there that only show up with that light behind it. This is such a light Amazonite color. Super pretty. You could do a wire bail on there through that top drilled hole. You could use a pinch bail on that. You could just attach a jump ring. There are many different ways to use that pendant. And then we've got some freshwater shell carved cloud beads. And they are 14 by 20 millimeter, and there are 2 of them. So here's one side. And they are double-sided. So there's the other one. And that hole runs right from the top to the bottom through the thickest part of it when it's like that. I'm going to stick these guys in here too. So we have our 2 pendants. Now we've got some connectors. Let's do the connectors. This is says one piece, but there's two of them. 13 by 20 millimeter cloud chandelier findings. Oh my goodness. It's like bubbles. It's like bubbles. So it looks like we've got a hole on the top and then two on the bottom. That's front and back. I'm going to put my connectors here. This is another set of connectors. These are stainless steel cloud chandelier pendants. There are two of them. They're 19 by 30 millimeters. And these ones are shiny. And they are also double-sided. So let's put them in there. All right, our charms. These could also be connectors, these charms. They are 12.5 by 14 millimeters. And the way you would use them as connectors, you've got your hole up here, but you've got like a couple of different dips down here, or you could connect things to either side. You could have a multi-strand thing connected to this. The strand may move though, since these aren't closed loops in here. You could use these as connectors, but they are also just charms. And we've got our rhinestone umbrella charms. There are two of these. They're 18 by 14 millimeters in size. And here's front and back for them. Looks like they've got a little drop dripping off of them. And now we've got a 4-piece 12 by 5 millimeter stainless steel lightning bolt charms. And these are going to be the same either way. Stick them in there with the other charms. $50-piece 4 by 3 millimeter stainless steel round spacer beads. I believe these were listed as nickel free. These are hefty beads. They are solid. They're not hollow. They just have that one hole through them. So I'm going to put my spacers and my bead caps in here. And I believe these bead caps are also nickel free. These little petal bead caps for all of these metals. And then we've got 1 meter of the stainless steel curb chain. It's listed as hypoallergenic. There is 1 meter of that in there. And last but not least, we have the platinum plated brass and cubic zirconia cloud toggle clasp. It has a 25 millimeter bar that has little cloudy guys on the edges. I'm going to get up a little bit closer so you can see the sparkles when I hit the light a different way for those CZs. That is the back. Alright, I'm going to stick that in here with my pendants. Alright, and if you just wanted the unboxing, here you are. This is the April Showers collection from Bargain Bead Box. And if you want to stick around and watch me make something, I'm going to figure out what kind of earrings I want to make today. Do I want to make chandelier earrings? Do I want raindrop? Oh, wait, now. Obviously, I mean, it would be rude not to, if I'm real honest. How about some of these guys? Yep. Let's get a couple of these guys off of there. Let's just make some real quick earrings using my Bargain Bead Box. Grab some wire for this. Wire, where's my wire? Alright, I don't want 20 gauge, I want 22. There we go, 22 gauge. And I'm going to go ahead and use the pewter color because that is often a good match color-wise for the stainless steel. It's not as shiny, but it can be a good match for that. Just cutting off two 2-inch pieces for ear wires. And now I'm going to make a couple of links using these guys. Is that the up or the down? I don't know which way I want it. You know, maybe that one will be down. And so this is a pretty easy way of making earrings where you've got, you know, a main big bead, a couple of smaller beads, and you just make a link and then attach a dangle or charm to it. So a couple of inches down from the top of this, I'm going to make a little bend in my wire. It doesn't have to be a big bend. But I'm also going to use some, you can use round nose pliers. This is one that I had handy right here next to me. My round nose pliers are somewhere else. But you put that over the top of the wire, bend the wire around it, and then open and rotate so it keeps going all the way around. Alright, so for this, yeah, let's do it that way. I'm going to go ahead and do my wrapped loop here before I attach any charms to it. I'll attach my charms to the second loop. So I've got my loop held here. Let me give this a little bit of a squish to tidy up my loops. And I have myself a nice blurry wrapped loop that you can't see because my camera wants to focus on what was behind me instead. I'll do this again. I like to put my beads on my wire before I do that, and then push them up next to my loop so that I can measure 3 fingers down. Cut the wire, not your fingers. And so for this, I would like my loop to be perpendicular. So if I can see the loop, it doesn't matter how this is going, it's fine. If I can see the loop as a loop and not as a straight line, then I can hold onto my wire and just bend this back over the top of my pliers so there's some room right here for wrapping my loop after I make it. And then I'm going to use these are bail making pliers, and I'm using the smallest loop on that. Again, you can use round nose pliers instead. You don't have to have these in order to do that. Push that up, open it, swing it, and then bring the wire around. And then once you've got it around, before I wrap it, I'm going to add my charm. And hold on to my loop. Bring this around that middle bit till it's done. So yeah, for the month of April, I'm making a pair of earrings every day because I really like making earrings, and it's a good challenge that gets me to exercise some of my creativity. It has me sitting down to create every single day, and it makes it a lot of fun for me. I'm going to make some ear wires real quick while I'm doing this. Again, 2 to 3 inches of 22 gauge wire. I like 22 gauge. A lot of people will use 20 gauge wire for this. And then I'm going to start wrapping it around the smallest loop on my bail making pliers. There you go. And now that I've got that loop created on both of these wires, they're right next to each other, I'm going to wrap them around the second largest loop. I'm going to make sure that this little loop that I created is kind of facing away from the loop that I'm going to wrap it around. So scooch them in like that so they're facing away from it. It helps if I hold my stuff underneath the camera, right? It's way easier for you guys to see it. And then I'm going to bring it around, and I'm not going to bring it all the way around. It doesn't even need to be touching it, just so it's kind of like straight down this side of it. And then when I pull it out from here, you can see it's starting to form the shape of an ear wire. And right at the point where it's opposite of this curve, I like to put my fingernail underneath it before I do the bend to help support it. I'm just going to do a little bend, just like that. And about maybe 1/2 centimeter from that bend, flush cut with your snippers. And 2 other things that I will do to finish this. The first is to work harden it. You can use a bench block and hammer. You can use a wire whacker. I like to take the thick part of my pliers, put that right in there, and give it a smush. When I do that, it helps work harden it. So that's how I'll make my ear wires. And then the second thing that you want to do to finish it is either use a burr cup or some metal files and just file down the end of that wire so that it is smooth to the touch. Get rid of those burrs or any little rough pieces of metal on the end of that before you use it. But let me just open this up now that that is finished. I will finish my second earring off camera. Oh, that is facing the wrong way. You can just swing open that loop like there we go, that's good. Like a jump ring. There we go. And now I've got a little cloud and umbrella earring. Super simple, super quick. Just using a little bit of wire and the beads and charms from the new Bargain Bead Box. I'll finish up this other one. I'll give it a post on my community tab. I have a link in the description below to Bargain Bead Box if you're interested in subscribing. Most people have been getting their boxes on time, so don't let my sister's story scare you. It is one of the best value for money bead boxes out there. And again, they do list the items that are hypoallergenic or nickel free. If you have any metal allergies, it's a fantastic box for that. They do a really beautiful job of curating these, and I enjoy this subscription a lot. So hopefully we will all have a much better week than we've had, and we'll be able to make some pretty things with our April Showers boxes. Until next time, happy beading.